Hello, my name is Bruno BOUYSSOUNOUSE. I'm with InnoEnergy in France, Grenoble, France, and I'm the program director for the Pathways Fellowship Program. As you have probably seen in a presentation yesterday, the KIC has three main areas of activity: helping startups, financing innovation projects, and setting up education programs all in sustainable energy. And it's all financed by the European Commission. The Pathways program is a separate program from that. It's a side program. It's a limited duration of time. And the idea is to provide fellowships for students, rather for postdocs and young engineers from all over the world to come work with the KIC partners, so startups and innovation projects. How does this work?
The side button.
The side button is one?
Yes. It works?
Okay.
This one, yeah.
Okay, so this presentation is mainly geared towards the partners, but of course I know that most of you here are not KIC partners, and that the way that it can interest you is because you have students who could potentially benefit from this program for a 2-year fellowship. So the idea is the fellowship provides to the partners a way to boost their capacity for innovation, to get access to talented resources, so young engineers, and get financing. We have 40% financing. I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail afterwards. But the idea is to bring together industry partners, research centers, universities, and startups who can host a young doctor or an engineer and come together in the fellowship program. So when we say, so we have 123 positions. It's quite a large program. We have 9.8 million euros financing, and the idea is that we take, so researchers and engineers. So anyone who has a PhD is automatically eligible in terms of research experience. If it's an engineer, they have to have an equivalent level of experience, and that's considered by the Commission to be 4 years of active R&D experience after getting their engineering diploma. And the main point of the program, of all these co-fund programs, is international mobility. So there's a hard constraint that the fellows change countries and bring international mobility as a strong dimension within these co-fund programs. So the hard requirement, I'm not going to spend much time on it because since it's a little bit complicated for students, they should not be asking themselves, am I eligible before going and registering? They should always register for the program, and the site will tell them if they're eligible, what countries they're eligible, what countries they're not eligible in, and anyone who registers will be presented as a possible candidate for position with the KIC InnoEnergy startups. Just to give you a little bit of statistic, we have 123 positions. We're aiming to have about 500 profiles, 500 CVs in the database, which means that there's roughly a 4-to-1 relationship. So 1 out of every 4 people who will register on the website will actually find a job with financing, and some more may find without financing. So it's a pretty good ratio for people who are looking for positions. And as I want to really underline, it's not restricted to EU students and engineers. It can take anyone from anywhere in the world, from Australia, from Canada, from Morocco, from Tunisia, etc., etc. So it's quite a good opportunity. What we're looking for is talented people who are looking for motivating missions and who are interested, and this is the key to the program, who are looking for how to integrate both research, so a deep technical knowledge, with the business dimension. And this is really the specific, what's very specific about the Pathways program, is that in the spirit of the KIC, we want to take these people who should be destined for a purely technical career path and change that career path a little bit for the better even better, and to let them integrate a business perspective. So we'll provide training, both the core training modules and specific training modules that are going to be in relationship with the fellowship project that they define and apply with, and allow them to take their R&D and take 25% of the time over the 2 years, so about 6 months of effort. It's quite a lot of time that they can spend on it, to extend their R&D towards business. So if they're working, I'll give you some examples in the next slide, I think. It's a few more slides later, but we'll have some concrete examples. So, as I said, we're expecting about 500 profiles by the end of 2014. Right now we have 150 already. Highly qualified competencies, and focused on sustainable energy. So these are the key InnoEnergy technology areas. So we have coal, we have, I'm not going to go and list them, but they're well known. So what do we provide as well? We have 40% financing, which is quite a lot, over the 2-year period of salary costs, for a period of 2 years. And we provide business-oriented R&D. So it's a real capacity for our partners. And when I say our partners, this can also be some of you, if you're in connection with some of the key InnoEnergy partners. And this is why I'm here in this particular roundtable, is that it's building capacity, is that there's a real opportunity to interact and give. So you can send, for example, you can send a student or even someone who has a doctorate or an engineer from your company or your institution here in Maghreb, and send them to one of the key InnoEnergy partners to transfer technology or to do some type of deep collaboration over 2 years, and we can finance that as long as it's one of the key InnoEnergy partners. So this is really, really strong. You can set up a long-term link with some of the key InnoEnergy partners through this program. That's the whole idea. R&D capacity selected through, so we have a selection process, which is quite deep. This is really also an added value, a very strong added value of the program, is that we ask the fellows to define with the partner a real fellowship project with real tasks, real deliverables, real milestones, and to defend this project, to say why it's going to work, why is it strategic for the partner, what's the timeline, what are the SMART objectives. I don't know if everyone here knows the SMART objectives, but it has to be, they have to defend why it's specific, S. So what's really, in a nutshell, what's the project? Measurable, M. Attainable, R is, I don't remember what R is, but it doesn't matter. Robust, maybe, and time dependent. So they have to make a business presentation of their R&D project. So we're already filtering a little bit that way, and we're already also making sure that the project is on the right footing when it gets started, and giving us the tools to be able to, on our side, to analyze the project and see if that person really is apt to do this type of fellowship where they're mixing the business and the technical aspects. These are stats, so we have 135, I already said this is redundant. These candidates, the idea is they bring new paradigms. They give a real boost in innovation to the partners, new solutions, and empowerment. Money is empowerment for innovation. And we're looking for results-oriented candidates, people who say, okay, I've got this great idea, I want to do it with a partner, I just need a little bit of extra money to make sure that it actually becomes feasible, and we're looking for a can-do spirit, people who can take into account technical aspects and the business aspects to make sure that it actually comes to work. As I said, 25% of the fellowship is dedicated to R&D activities expended towards business. We have training, world-class training through the KIC InnoEnergy education partners. And so what we call is they're called disruptive activities, the 25% of the time that they're going to be spending on business-oriented. So it's hands-on, it's not exercises, it's hands-on work, and applied innovation cases. Here's the examples that I was talking about earlier. So, for example, if we have someone who's working in R&D on a prototype installation to remove mercury from coal, how do we take this great technology and make it so that it can actually be sold. So it's great technology because you can take clean coal, you can take coal, make it clean, fine, but then you have to sell it. It's not enough to just to have the technology. Another example is if you have intelligent, energy-efficient buildings. So the R&D, the 75% of the work that they would do, could be develop cost and energy-effective storage systems for energy-balanced buildings and districts. And the other part is to how do we then sell this once again? How do we put that into a market-based approach? How do we build the business models and the marketing strategies to get actual products and services that actually make sense on the market, not just in the research papers? Renewable energies, adopt manufacturing processes to improve lifetimes of flexible solar panels. This is more what we're talking about here today. So look at the competitive environment. How does that have market impacts? It was along the lines of your presentation. And make recommendations for strategic positioning. So it's exactly the sort of thing that we want to do. So specifically, there's 3 types of fellowships that are planned. They're within the KIC structure. I don't know how familiar you are with it. Either it's to try and set up a new innovation project that doesn't exist already, to set up also a new startup. It's certainly possible to do that with the fellowship, and prepare other InnoEnergy activities. As you can see, it's both working towards the InnoEnergy objectives, but also working towards the partners' objectives, bringing more community between the partners, and going for the societal good of cleaning up the planet. In terms of funding, there's a certain number of things that are imposed by the program, including minimum salary, so it has to be, it's a minimum level of salary that's set by the Commission, which is actually quite high. So it's a great job in terms of salary as well. And 40% is covered. So 40% not just of the brute salary costs, but also including the social charges. So it's a serious amount of money. It varies according to the country where the fellowship is carried out, and this is determined by the Commission, so it's not us that determine it. But in Belgium, for example, it's 2,230 euros per month that we give as a lump sum to the partner, etc., etc. I'm not going to run through the rest is not important for here. So in terms of obligations to the program, the idea is that it's as light as possible while still being pertinent. They have to refer to the program in publications. That's a standard minimum. They have to attend the training sessions. So if they don't attend the training sessions, the contract is set up so that you have to pay for the training session if you don't go to it. If you go to the training session, you don't have to pay for it. And then provide a 10-page report at the end, just at the end of the fellowship, to say how great it was and how much you liked it, and all these things, and participate in the community overall. We also have a pairing tool. I won't talk about that too much now, but the idea is that since we have this database, it's wonderful. We also have a search tool that allows the partners to search for their candidates. So they can search by keywords, they can list them, they can access the CV, they can go see all kinds of things before deciding whether or not to contact them. So it's a good tool for the first initial phase when the partner is looking for one of the candidates that we have. This is a little bit complicated diagram, and it's not supposed to be complicated. So we're going to be redoing this diagram because it really is not so complicated. Basically, the applicant prepares the proposal with the host, of course, to make sure that it's within the host's objectives. The applicant submits the proposal, and just clicks on a button. It's evaluated by independent experts. I should say a few words. I'll make a parenthesis here about the experts. InnoEnergy has a number of experts, both within its personnel, but also within the InnoEnergy community in the wider sense. And this could most certainly include experts from McRenov. And we've developed tools to do the evaluation, both the technical evaluation and a human resources evaluation, which is quite interesting. And it's all done through web interfaces, so the experts don't need to go to a physical meeting to do the evaluation. The idea is that we can evaluate as many as possible to have a good level of selectivity and good level of motivation by the experts. Why do experts, and we were starting to get the first results because we're doing the first evaluations now. Why would experts want to do this? Because we don't pay them, contrary to most. And there's two reasons for that. One is because experts can then have a better visibility of what's going on outside of their geographical area. So it's always interesting to take 2 hours just at your desk with your screen and talk to another expert who's somewhere in another part of the world and talk about a specific project and the merits or not of a specific project. So it allows you to see and know other experts, and it allows you to see and know about technical topics that are a little bit outside of your own technical topic. And this is always interesting, and we've really made a strong effort to make the cost of doing so very, very low. You don't have to go to a conference, you don't have to, and you can set up ties and do collaboration with the other experts as you want. So anyway, it's evaluated by experts, the program makes a decision, and then we just sign contracts. So how do the partners who want to look for candidates do it? It's very, very simple. Just send us an email. I think you'll give out the slides afterwards because the email is a little bit complicated. Sorry about that. We send you a personalized access that allows you to search for the candidates, just access the tools, and sign a confidentiality agreement, of course, because you're accessing profiles and it's not just anyone who can do that. And then once you find the person that you're interested in and it's selected, then you just we sign a contract with the host, and the host signs an employment contract with the fellow. We don't sign anything with the fellow directly. Anyway, that's enough for now. Any questions?